Hello and welcome to the final episode of Alan Wake. That doesn't sound anything like Alan. My attempt at doing an Alan Wake thing there was pretty poor. Yeah, hello, welcome to the final episode of Alan Wake. I say final episode. There is the extras, which I definitely will do. But yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been the most consistent. I was about to say this will be the first game I finished, but it won't be. I finished Signalis. What felt like an age ago. But yeah, um, hello, welcome to the finale. Or, I guess if you're watching the cut up version of this I'm going to splice together, probably you've always been here. In fact, I'll probably cut this bit out, ignore this bit. Yeah, I guess we'll just get started. It's been a wild ride, and today should be a lot of fun. I think there'll be a lot less gameplay today from what I remember. I'll just press continue.
Previously on Alan Wake,
yeah, I think there'll be a lot less
gameplay
gameplay
true. Thomas Zane
than there has been in previous episodes. I think there's like a big gameplay at the start, and then it'll be a lot of like Alan talking to darkness. I actually have no idea. I don't remember. I hope we get to fight the detective.
Something behind to help me. The clicker.
Alan thought of this as he stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, the clicker in his hand. He took a deep breath and jumped.
I can get to her now. I can finish this.
But yeah, Departure. It's the name of his book. It's the name of his new book. I don't remember this having a flashback section. The flashbacks always look like ass. I guess it's because they didn't want to model this place very well. And like model old Alan, or younger Alan, I guess. 2 years younger.
I had a hangover. My head was about to explode and the light hurt my eyes. I needed my sunglasses and painkillers to dull the pain.
That's just they
Final
took a
moments of
picture of...
self-deception, I swore to quit drinking.
Oh, yeah, nah, but you don't. Oh, I thought every time I looked through the window it was going to do that pulsing effect, but it isn't.
I wasn't sure if I could face the world without my sunglasses and something for my headache.
That's neat, that like it won't let me open the door. The door's not locked. The door just won't open.
The pills worked fast. The prospect of being awake started to seem bearable again.
I don't think that's... I've never had painkillers, one, work that fast. And two, do painkillers work on a hangover? I don't think I've never tried taking painkillers for a hangover. It doesn't seem like a great choice. Because surely there's alcohol in your blood
the world
still.
look bearable. Now I could keep my eyes open without feeling like a vampire.
What is this
in the
room
sun.
as well? He's got... There's nothing in this room. There's just 3 empty shelves.
There was a message waiting for me on the machine.
Is it from his wife? Does this date this? It was 2 years ago, right? But his house is exactly the same despite 2 years having passed. Like he still just has a copy of his book on the...
You have one new message. Ow! Are you still asleep? Wakey, wakey! You should have your show on your TiVo. If Alice
TiVo.
wasn't too mad to record it, yeah, she called me earlier and really chewed me out. Yeah, we went a little overboard.
TiVo.
last
Remember having
night.
to record
But
TV.
parties
That
are
was
part
wild.
of this business. Al, look, I'm saying this as your friend. She's not doing your career any favors by trying to run your life like that, okay? I'll talk to you later, Al. Watch the show.
Watch the show he was on. Why would he watch? That doesn't make any sense. I assume it's a talk show.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to
The
the
Harry
Harry
Guy.
Gallic Show.
Thank you everybody. We have a great show tonight.
This dude was on
I've
one
been
of the
talking
Thingy
with
episodes.
Best-selling author Alan Wake about his new book, The Sun
One of the
Stuff.
Night Springs episodes.
Yeah, good read. Go buy it. No, it is a good read. Look, I'm gonna be honest here. Is that wise? No, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I got people who give me the lowdown on books. I'm a busy guy, but this one I actually read from cover to cover. I mean, I'm a big fan. Wow, thanks.
I say, surely it would
Now,
be
this
like
might be a spoiler
part
for
in
those
a
who haven't read the
series.
book yet, based on the sales figures, the two people out there who haven't read the
It'd
book
be
yet.
really neat if these were real books that they brought
But
out
this
alongside the
last
game.
book is all about the death of the main character, the hard-boiled New York detective Alex Casey.
That'd be a
Now,
really,
there's
that would
been
have been a
a
really
lot of
cool. Oh, I
outrage.
guess it's not out yet, but that would be a really
Why the hell
cool
did you kill
marketing stunt for the
Casey?
second
What the hell
game.
were you thinking, man?
As if they released
Good
all of
riddance. No, seriously though, 7 years
the
and 6 books is a long time.
thingy
He
books.
was a gloomy guy to spend all your working hours with, and it was a good run. But it's time to explore new things. My next book will be a departure from the old for me. You selfish bastard.
He actually
Always thinking
calls the
of
bug
yourself.
departure. That's a little bit.
Well, you've certainly given us a lot of entertainment.
It's a little bit on the nose, Alan.
And now that you mention it, Casey was a gloomy guy. Never had much luck with his love life with the ladies. Was that autobiographical in any way? Yeah, no kidding. Casey's lady friends tended to die on him. With Casey, it was all about his pain. No, nothing autobiographical about that. I'm a happily married man. My wife is my muse. Well,
I love how over the top this is.
That's great to hear. So, how's the publicity tour been treating you? Good, great. But I gotta say, I'm glad to be back home in New York. Well, you've certainly been on the news a lot lately. Lots of parties and, you got into a fight with some paparazzi. Oh, man. Well, that guy was really in my face. I lost my temper. I know that wasn't cool. You are famous for that temper.
Ooh.
Well, I did also write several books. Well, your latest novel is called The Sudden Stop, and it's in bookstores now. Go get it. That means the two of you out there who haven't bought it.
Why did they have them rewatch
Ladies
this?
and
Like, it makes
gentlemen,
sense
that's
that
all
we
we
would
have
want to
for you
watch this
tonight.
as
I wanna
viewers.
thank all our guests,
But like,
including
why would you
Alan
watch
Wake,
through?
Sam
I guess
Blake,
see how it
Swore to the
looked.
face for his Sam. And our musical guests, Poets of the Fall. Thank you. and
Oh, to the
good
fall
night.
is the musical they
At
used.
least I'd been funny. I told myself I could live with that.
I think Sam Lake.
I didn't say anything stupid.
I think
if that's
Sam
what you
Lake
wanna
might
know.
be the guy that
Okay,
like was
You
the
wanna ask
director
them
on this
something?
game.
Are you gonna start with me about drinking now?
You know what?
Oh, they're having
Go
an
back to
argument
sleep,
again.
Alan.
What? Now you can't even talk to me?
Well,
literally
this
just
morning
spoke
I was
to
angry
Tim.
because you said you'd be home at midnight and you showed up at 7 a.m. and passed out in mid-sentence. Now I'm over it. Are you angry?
This goddamn tour. It's gotten out of hand.
Oh, honey. It's almost over, right?
Why is he angry at
You
her
can get
about
back
that?
to normal. Then you can start writing again.
I'm sorry, honey.
Alan, you're not thinking straight. Just take a shower and go back to bed, huh?
Yeah, you're right, honey. I'm sorry. Once this is over, let's go away together. A vacation. Just you and me. Some peace and quiet.
Wait, but it said this was 2 years ago. He hadn't been on tour for 2 years. They'd said he hadn't written anything for like 2 years, right?
Somehow, the clicker was the key to the cabin. I had to return to Cauldron Lake to save Alice. I'm going back to the lake to finish this.
I think.
I'm going to write
No.
an ending to the story in the manuscript on my own terms, to make it all right.
Why can't you just
No,
write
that
it
isn't
here?
right, because he'd
The
done
last
like a
page is
book
still
tour.
in the
No,
typewriter.
because
I need
they
to
still had
read
that
it
cardboard
first.
cutout. and
Everything
stuff.
needs to be just right. Zane tried to cut some corners, and it didn't end well.
Okay, ready when you are.
I'm sorry, Sarah, but I need to do this alone. Barry, take her gun.
What?
Miss Weaver, close the door when I leave.
Why take a gun?
Good luck, Al.
Maybe give him the headlight, like,
See you later.
or like the gun. I suppose he has a gun.
When I got out, it was warm and sunny. I'd flicked the switch of the clicker. Had it done this? I didn't stop to question it. I had to take advantage of the sunlight to get to the lake. On Zane's page, I'd stood on the rim of Cauldron Lake, about to use the clicker. That's where I was headed.
Yes, you have to drive the whole way across the town. I say the whole way across the town. I don't know how big this town is. I don't know, like, I guess the dam could be quite fun. No, because Alan walks it. No, you do take that helicopter ride, actually.
Alone, in daylight, surrounded by the
Oh my
beauty of
God.
the Pacific
It's
Northwest landscape.
daytime.
It was hard not to let doubt creep in one last time. I could still chalk everything up to a dream, a delusion. I had enough imagination to make up something like this.
That is
Having
true.
been in the cabin all this time, trapped in a story inside my head, gone mad from grief over Alice's death like Hartman had claimed, there would be no
What
way
if I go
of
this
knowing.
way?
I told myself it didn't really matter. My course was set.
Oh, of course, there's a... As usual, there's just like a truck over the front of the thing. There's Verizon thing. An advert for Verizon. Verizon still exists? I assume it does. It's an American company, we don't have it in the UK. It's really weird to be like doing gameplay, like actual gameplay, like it isn't on rail. I mean, this is on rails, obviously. I'm like driving down a road. But just to be doing stuff during the day is really weird. Honestly, seeing stuff during the day is really weird. Some batteries. It's an empty can. Stopping here to pick up these batteries, but like, I never run out of batteries. I don't really need these, but I'll take them. You never know. You never know. Do you reckon you can get in there? I'm gonna check. This is one of those things where I'll regret it if I don't check it. It would be me breaking into someone's trailer, which would be weird. Okay, it's not. Also, who's this I suppose someone staying here and then like going out in the woods. But it could be someone that's dead. It could be someone that I have murdered over the course of the game. Someone who just got lost in the woods and now they're dead because they got consumed by the darkness. That's dark. I don't know if like exploring these bits makes sense to do. There is a thing on there. He has a flashlight. I wonder if... I suppose I'm going into like a dark section. Oh, I was wondering if maybe the darkness would attack while I was down there. Yeah, I can't actually remember. How this section is laid out in terms of the music's creepy. I think I said this in a previous episode, but I vaguely remember there being an achievement for getting a Cauldron Lake in like a very small amount of time, which I assume would just be driving straight there and not like going off the beaten path to collect anything. Did the car in the game just beep? Okay, it didn't. That was in real life. Someone just beeped a horn outside my window, but it was literally as I opened the door to the car. That was weird. Yeah, apparently there are manuscript pages on this drive, I guess. Maybe they're not on the drive. It's whether or not you think I can get in here. Oh, there's a thingy. Be neat if this was like I suppose that is what it's meant to be. A drive past all of the like the landmarks of the game. Yeah, when I opened that, it didn't make it beep. Like I'd stolen it. It was in real life. Okay, good to know. Ooh. I assume I have to climb around this.
The darkness had touched me. There was a link between us. Always would be. I could feel its presence again, getting closer.
Oh, There it goes.
Kill your wife.
Wait, he has a like big torch now. In the cutscene, he didn't have a big torch. For some reason, the achievement with the flare gun is called, for getting kills with the flare gun is called "What Light Through Yonder Window Breaks," and it's a Shakespeare reference, and I don't understand why. It says like kill the thing, kill the darkness as Shakespeare intended, which
The Dark
just
Presence
weird.
was no longer trying to capture the Rider so he could create the ending it wanted. The Rider knew too much. He was too strong. And he carried a weapon left behind by Thomas Zane, something that could hurt it. Now, the darkness was doing everything in its power to simply stop the Rider from ever reaching Cauldron Lake and the dark place it came from.
I guess maybe if you've read the manuscript, you have some agency over what happens. Because if you write a page that says the darkness tries to stop him, the darkness therefore gets to try to stop him, I guess. I'm still confused about how that works. And it's actually something that I really hope the second game goes into depth about. We're not gonna stop to kill random enemies. Is this the gas station? For episode 1? Oh, it's not. It's something. I do love how little urgency he has when he's getting out of these cars.
The Poet and the Muse, lyrics by Old Gods of Asgard. The first verse. There's an old tale wrought with mystery of Tom the
We'll
poet
listen to
and his
this one because
muse, and
it's
a magic
like
lake which gave a life to the words the poet used. Now the muse, she was his happiness, and he rhymed about her grace, and told her stories of treasures deep beneath the blackened waves, till in the stillness of one dawn, still in its misty crown, the muse she went down to the lake, and in the waves she drowned.
I think the darkness would get a different MO, wouldn't you? Like, oh, it's motel. Interesting. Nice coffee thermos and stuff. Seems like a very big motel. This is a very small town. You wouldn't need a very big motel, right? Ooh. You know me. If we ever find a shotgun, we take. If we ever find a gun, we always switch. Huh. I guess this is where the FBI agent was staying. Alan not got anything to say
This
about
had
that?
obviously been the room where Agent Nightingale had stayed when he hadn't been busy
Look how
harassing
big that
me.
bag of crisps is. Spicy BBQ crisps are huge. What the fuck? It would make sense if he had a manuscript page in here. Like instead of putting the one in the... What the fuck? Is that the first time Alan's had like a witty comeback to one of the undead? I think it is. I think that's the first time he's ever spat a one-liner at someone who's ostensibly already dead. Oh, this one will be unlocked. Oh, it's not. But this one has a modelled interior. Whereas the others didn't. I suppose you could just copy-paste them, right? Like, the rooms would all look the same anyway. In real life, you know. There's a sick jump there, but we're not going to bother doing it. I mean, we could do the sick jump. If I was streaming this, I'd ask if people want me to do the sick jump. It does look like a pretty sick jump. I'm gonna stop talking about the sick jump now. Because we're not doing the sick jump. Because there's a different car here that was floating slightly off the ground when I walked over. we're going to use instead. This one controls better. The fact that the cars in this game have different, like, handling profiles? Is that what you'd call it? Car? I guess. The fact that they handle differently. It's kind of cool. I'm gonna reverse and just look across that field and see if I can spot it. Actually, we'll quickly drive across it. See if at the other side there's a page. There is not. This is the kind of place I'd expect there to be a thermos. Part of me does think it's neat that they consistently put the thermoses in places that would make sense and not just out of the way. That's one of my least favorite things about game collectibles, is when they're just in places that don't make any fucking sense. They'll just be in like stupid places and you'll be like, why would this be here? It's like, oh, because the devs think they have to put it here because your gamer brain is like, there'll be a collectible here, and then if there isn't a collectible here, you feel robbed. You know, like I just did then, but I didn't feel robbed because it had the reverse effect. I was like, well, of course there wouldn't be it. Ah, you fucker. I hate these things. Again, the idea that the darkness controls like random inanimate objects and throws them at you, really cool idea. Dope idea. The way it works in game, not something I particularly enjoy. Yeah, conceptually neat. Execution, not my favorite. Mostly because of reasons like that. Like, that just flew at me and almost killed me. Without me being able to burn it. It almost was like the battery, when you put it in, should give you like a burst of extra light. Again, that's not how flashlights work. But then again, batteries also don't tend to have rechargeable lithium batteries in them. That just recharge without being plugged in, but also have... Actually, you probably can buy thingies like that, right? Where they have like a light there. A lantern like that. You probably can buy something like that. Where it has like a rechargeable battery and then it also has a way for you to put real batteries in. But then that no, because even then, like, what would it be charging off of? Right, it can't just charge off of nothing. It has to charge from something. I hate the camera. That's neat that there's like a car that's something I find odd, or is like an odd choice. Oh, they've broken the car. I'm gonna use the flashback. Is it dead? There's a bright light over here. There being a car and like the bright light is cool. It feels a lot more, like in previous episodes, it definitely felt like, you know, the light was guiding us. But in this episode, it feels a lot more like, you know, it's doing it more directly. Anyway.
The
Oh,
Poet
more
and the
lyrics.
Muse, lyrics by Old Gods of Asgard, the second verse. The poet came
Oops.
down to the lake to call out to his
Cuss
dear. When there was no answer, he was overcome with fear. He searched in vain for his treasure lost, and too soon the night would fall. Only his own
Someone had
echo
to
would
write
wail
this.
back at his call.
I could
And
have
when
written
he
this
swore
actually.
to bring back his love by stories he'd create, nightmares shifted in their sleep in the darkness of the lake.
Alan Lake. Nope, that doesn't work. Oh. Yep. Sorry. Just had to go for a second. Ah, yes, the car. The magical car. This is way too bright. Hurts my eyes. Ooh, wait, I saw it glowing. For a moment. Oops. I hate this camera. So it's like 90 degrees? Well, it's not. So, unlike most games where, like, turning it, like, a bit... Oh, God. Will make it go, like, a little bit. Turning it in this will make it go, like, really far. So you gotta, like, nudge it a tiny bit. Go, go, go. So if the vehicle doesn't have a health bar. I know, like, in real life, you know, your car doesn't have a health bar. Unless it does. I mean, I don't drive, so maybe some drivers can tell me if their cars do in fact have health bars, but last I checked, they don't. But neither do people, so, you know. Yeah, like, turning my stick to the right makes it go all the way to the right. I suppose what I actually need to do is like, not turn it all the way. Instead, like... Ah! What the hell was that? What the hell is flashbanging me? Oh, it's there flying off the edge of the map and it's killing them. Yeah, all my gaming instincts were telling me to, like, you know, hold left and hold right like you would, but I suppose what you're supposed to do when you're in the car is, like, hold like that, if that makes sense. You know, aim it in a way where if you were on foot, it would make you look up and to the right, but because you're in a car, it doesn't. Also, why do all these cars have their, keys in them? Oh, I was hoping there'd be like a cam thing up there. I should probably be looking at the ground. I assumed there was going to be some kind of attack because, mostly because of the sheer number of enemies. Oh, I forgot I was using the shotty. I pressed LB then. Holy Jesus. That was a lot of it. Reload a lot. Pull out another one actually. Wait, he actually burned to death. I didn't know it was a thing. He burned to death on the flare. Sorry, the light's here. I kind of let myself get hit by that. So.
The bottom of Cauldron Lake was a graveyard of things the lake had claimed in one way or another over the decades. The Dark Presence brought them up in its wake, scattering the rotten waterlogged hull of an old boat here, the remains of a long-ago crashed airplane there, trees shattered under the impacts. The earth groaned. It didn't even notice.
Is it talking about the past? It says the trail of the Dark Presence, but like we've seen that. The plane. Remember how we saw the boat as well. We saw the boat in when we went to go see Rose, and then we saw the plane in one of the jungles. Yeah, so look, if I hold like up and to the right, so it's more like I need to face my right stick in the direction I want the camera to face. It doesn't feel right. Wait, this is the way it wants me to go. So we're in fact going the other way. The car's stuck. I've actually managed to get that car stuck. It's impressive. %50 off. It's a good sale. Well, it's a good sale depending on what you buy. You know, if you're buying something from a Steam sale, sometimes that's not a good deal. Oh, running all that way is going to take so long. You wouldn't have been able to get a car through. Oh, you would have. Oh, there might be something at the end of it. Oh, I can see something glowing. Now we have to go. Oh, and it's a page. Yeah, see. This was the correct choice. Even though it's just going to be another page of lyrics, right? So how many people do you reckon jump us when I pick this up?
In the end, Barry wasn't going to shoot Sarah. They both knew that. Once she had no chance of catching up to Wake, Barry gave up the gun and sat down on the floor.
For some reason I remember
shielding
this.
his face from the merciless glare of the well-lit room. I don't think I'm ever going to see him again, he said in a weak voice. Sarah didn't have it in her to be mad at him. Besides, he was probably right.
I hope Barry's in Alan Wake 2, actually. That's a good point. Like I say, I'm sure this game ends with Alan, like, sacrificing himself to, like, bring Alice back. I don't exactly remember, but, like, that would also be the ending that would make the most sense. It would be, you know, be kind of, like, tragic ending to a game without it being, like, sad. But in the making a second one, you would assume Barry would be in it. Because he's Wake's best friend. Not just his, not editor. Barry's his agent. Does Wake have an editor? I don't think he does. Because Barry's his agent, not his editor. I think. I guess he could be both, but I'm pretty sure he's not. Oh, another QR code. Wait, is that a QR code? Nope, that's just... It's a good job they make loads of noise. You know, I'm just gonna flashbang them. I think there's gonna be flashbangs in here. Oh, what do you know? I wonder if that is. I wonder if this is like No, it's not. It's too grainy. I was gonna say, I wonder if it's pieces of a... That noise usually means there's a cache. That, like, breath noise. You must sign a liability waiver. For you pull it, you must bring your own tools. Oh, I see. It's a junkyard. Then you can, like, come and take whatever you want. They make so much noise. For some reason that made me jump. No, like I could hear them coming. What am I doing? That was terrible. That was awful. If I died then, I would have completely deserved it. Again, every time we find a weapon, we switch, because I assume the game is just going to give me ammo for that weapon type for a bit. Might not be the case, but it might be. Also, you know, it gets a nice bit of variation in the weaponry. Did I have to come up here? It is nice that they make so much noise. That's not my footsteps.
The Poet and the Muse. Lyrics
So you
by old
wouldn't get
gods
to
of
read this if you
Asgard,
weren't playing on
the
that as
third
difficulty.
verse. In the dead of night she came to him with darkness in her eyes, wearing a morning gown, sweet words as her disguise. He took her in without a word, for he
This
saw
works
his
a lot
grave
better as
mistake,
in a song
and
than it
vowed them
does
both
as
to
someone
silence
reading it.
deep beneath the lake. Now, if it's real or just a dream, one mystery remains. For it is said on moonless nights they may still haunt this place.
Yeah, that works a lot better as a song. It's the kind of rhymes where singing it is definitely a lot better than just hearing it. Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. Meant to use a single shot from the pistol. Not... I don't like that. I don't like those footsteps. Anyway, not my problem anymore. Oh, I thought it was the stuff coming to life, but it's people like coming out of the thing. Whee! He so nonchalantly just gets out of the... I saw a red light over here. Okay, it was a... You know, it'd be a terrible achievement. I bet this game has it, because it's the kind of game that... Like, you know, it came out in the 360 era. I bet there's an achievement for playing this game and never getting in a car.
Zane cut its heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings, sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
What? He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. I don't get it. Suppose he tied the monster up. There was a mechanic early on where it was one of these, like the motor would like move out of place and I had to... I had to like do something quickly so that... so that it wouldn't come loose again. I assume that does that to get your attention, so that... Oh no, we're having to fight one of these again. The name of it escapes me. Oh, I suppose the first time we fought this, we were just using a regular, we're using a regular flashlight, but now we've got this, like, big lantern. It's not quite the Master Sword, but it, you know, it serves a similar purpose. Yeah, we're not really using the fact that you can just burn them slowly like this much. We were quite a lot at the start. I was quite good at it. Well, in episode 1, I feel like I was much better at not burning all of the light away. I sort of assumed I'd be getting attacked. Or is this just to stop you from going through while the car's attacking? I assume this is just to stop you from going through while the car's attacking then. I think I heard one. I am trying to swing the camera about less. I understand that it's probably quite disorienting, mostly because it is for me. And I know it's coming because I'm the one that turns the stick, so I imagine for someone that isn't the one that's turning the stick, it must be even worse. Sorry, my cat was in the way. Yeah, I imagine people that aren't, you know, the one playing the game, when it rapidly spins like I've had it do a couple of times, it's probably pretty awful. Because it kind of makes me feel sick. Ooh, place to stop. I don't know how much I like this section.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
The thing is she dead? Like, is what he's doing bringing her back from the dead, or is what he's doing freeing her? Because in Thomas Zane's thing, it implied that his wife was actually dead. Right? In his, it said, oh, she drowned, and he brought her back with the words he wrote. With Alan, it's implied that she's been basically kidnapped, right? I'm holding it to switch. Come on.
I will never give her to you.
Yeah. Yep, cheers. Gotta make it less obvious that's what you're doing, Gabe. Don't put 2 giant lights. Did you say farmers are the opposite of hunter-gatherers? I don't think that's true. It's not a correct statement. I mean, they're, you know, they're different to them, but I wouldn't say they're the opposite. I'd say that's objectively not true. God, they... Wait, didn't I already switch to hunting rifle? We're gonna keep the pump. Fuck it. They've either let you use whatever weapon you want. We're gonna stick to the pump action. Although the other one's actually probably better. The other one's kind of better for taking out like bosses and stuff whenever we fight them. Although I can't actually see there being a real boss. Is that it? Really? Okay, no. I did think that was a little weird for that to be like it. We're gonna actually use a flashbang here to burn away some of the... Ah! That was a bad one. Jesus Christ! Fucking hell, that was more intense than I was expecting. Oh yeah, the flare gun. We're gonna use the flare gun this time for something. Like, I say this time. Next time they attack, we're gonna use the flare gun. I like the idea that you could use a flare. You could like drop a flare here, and then like, you know, push it a bit, drop another flare, push it, drop another flare. Get in this room, defend this room a little bit. You could if you wanted to do that.
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed.
I mean, it sounds like you said
conceptual and
water.
subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field,
Oh.
it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me. The words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
One thing that's interesting is, what did it do to the dudes? You know, the rock guy, the old gods of Asgard. Their songs are about like Zane and shit. They're about the stuff that happened. They're about the future, but they're not about the darkness, right? Or no, I suppose that's what Hartman says in the section, isn't it? He says, like...
I could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
That's what Hartman says when you're in his thing, right? Is he says the others can't, like, control it. Every, like, one in like 10, let's say, of them can control it. The rest of them can just basically do... Whee! Yeah, the rest of them can do, like, prophecy. I assume all these birds are going to attack us. How is this moving along this? This isn't downhill, right? I suppose it's a little bit downhill with how much this would weigh. That braking's not, you know, doesn't really affect me. I wonder if this game was more scary to me when I was younger. I don't find this game particularly terrifying. You know, it's... What the hell was that noise? You know, the game's meant to be like a psychological thriller. But, which it is. Like, you know, I say the game doesn't scare me, it does thrill me. Why did it let me go this way? The hell? Why did they let you do this? That's so random. Why does it let you go that way? There's nothing there. Is that just an oversight? Or again, is it just them letting you see, you know, not the strings of the game, but you know, letting you go somewhere that it would make sense for you to be able to go. There's nothing there. The fact the lantern can almost burn away one of these little flocks of birds is neat. Well, I suppose it could. They flew behind something. It's telling me to mash A there. I wonder if the speed at which I mashed it made me push it faster or... By the way, I said I was going to use the flare gun next time I got the chance, and I just didn't. Fuck it. We got, what, 10 shots? It made the noise like we were under attack, but there's no enemies. Ah! Fucking birds. God, the birds are so annoying. I guess the flare gun is your only, like... tool against the birds? I mean, you got your flashlight, obviously. Ah, what the fuck? Who threw that? Come on, all of you group up. Come on. I imagine, like, someone doing this in real life and just being like, come on, guys. Group up so I can shoot my flare at you. In, like, this situation that, like, I say, oh, isn't that scary? But if you were in this in real life, this would be fucking horrible. I feel like with Alan, they don't play up how scared he should be, right? He like, does he write horror? Actually, yeah, I didn't think of that. He does write horror for a living. He does also. He like, I know it's not. Well, I was gonna say I know it wouldn't help, but I assume the fact that he has anger problems doesn't help him not be scared in a situation like this. They say that he likes to get in, well, no, he likes to get in fights. He doesn't like the fact that he like beat up that paparazzi. He specifically says that he doesn't like the fact that he got in a fight with that paparazzi. But like that stuff does explain the violence and stuff does explain his predisposition to defending himself. You know, in the first game in the first part, when he got like attacked, he didn't have like a massive moral dilemma about the fact that he'd just taken a life. Well, he did. You know, he had a moral dilemma about it. I don't make him sound like a psychopath, but he... This guy's gonna just fucking run around like this. I'm just gonna walk past him. One, two, three, four. Wee, now it can't come near me. Game's gonna kit me out and stuff. I'm gonna start actually using it. Which I realize I keep saying. And then not doing. Like these lithium batteries that I've got an obscene number of. I'm genuinely confused by the Steam review I read that said that like playing this on the hardest difficulty really makes you have to conserve shit. These things are kind of terrifying. Where's the run around thing? Or did it run too close to me and did that flashbang get it? I think that flashbang might have got it. It's throwing like boats and shit is just really cool. Ooh, fuck that. Ah, I didn't catch him. Where the hell? Oh, there he is. Where am I? Oh, I'm so lost now. Ah, that tree's on fire. Why is that tree on fire? Wait, I can just follow the way mark. Oh, these things are annoying. There being two of them is extra annoying. That doesn't seem good. Wait, how is one of them alive? We just near like 5 explosions that should have killed it. Hello, friend. I know you can't come to the light. Go away. This seems this seems copy and pasted from the one I was at before. I know it's probably not. I know it's probably slightly different, but it looks very copy and pasted. Very cinematic. Those are very neat. They didn't force me to look at it. I didn't pull my camera over to look at it. You die now. Fuck off. Jesus. Hope I don't have to fight anymore. I hope that was the last one. I hope that's why they sent like 5 of them at me, was because that's it. That's done now. Are you kidding? I'm glad that didn't hurt. Yeah. Alan Wake gets slightly damaged, but gets like a quarter of his health taken off by stepping on a piece of weird darkness shit. Alan Wake also takes a propane canister to the face and is fine. We can't be that far away from Cauldron Lake now. Must be almost there. Yeah, the darkness wears the face, I get it. It's a neat subversion of the trick that like now these caches are like here. But one thing that's very funny is there's no like light, not lights. There's no like bioluminescent. Is that what they're called? That's not what they're called. There's no like the paint, basically. Anyone that's watched all of these can also probably tell that I have a very methodical way with which I search, which leads to some of these areas taking a bit longer than they should, but you'll notice I don't really miss much.
I needed to get the generator running.
Okay. Oh, that generator. There's literally a generator there. I was about to say, what generator? But you gave me a flashbang and a load of flare gun ammo. Oh, there's a manuscript page on the other side of this. For some reason. I assume this is one of the hidden ones. Yep.
I'd first heard the poem in a dream, recited by a strange UFO-like light. I'd read it again in the cabin in a book by Thomas Zane. For he did not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green, where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been. To its ports I've been.
Yeah, we heard this in the tutorial, I remember. I love that somehow they made this, and the fact that it says he called that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green where waves are both wilder and more serene. To its ports I've been, to its points I've been. The L in the lies there is capitalized, which means it's probably supposed to be on the next line, right? So it's supposed to be, for you to not know that beyond the lake he called home lies a deeper, darker ocean green where waves are both wilder and more serene to its bosom. I'm sure the cadence of that is something. I'm sure it's like a lyrical, not lyrical. I'm sure it's like a type of, you know, poetry, like a specific type of poetry. Hello, friends. They gave me like 5 shots of this thing, and I'm not gonna waste them. Well, I might waste them, but I mean, like, I'm gonna use them. We're not gonna get to the end of the game. It actually lets you feel a bit like you're fighting back against the darkness properly. That was when I said I wasn't gonna waste them, and then I said instantly, well, we might waste them, but like not purposely. It's like I've been taken over by the darkness. And I had like precog there. Oh, there's the last page. Know what that means? We're nearing the end of me getting to play the game. It's our last manuscript page, guys. I'm really sad I've missed like 2 over the course of the entire game.
After Zane had gone, I stood alone in the shifting dream that was the dark place. I had to find a way to the cabin. I'd written myself a way through this place in the manuscript. I followed the idea of a path. I'd written myself across the ocean that blocked my way, and with that, there was a bridge to the island beyond. The idea of the cabin flickered in the underwater darkness. I willed the cabin to be real, and it was.
That's neat. It's a neat explanation of how. Yeah, you're gonna jump scare me with the fucking. You know, if there'd been a mod that I could have used to turn that off, I would have done. Because those jump scares suck. Fuck it. This is like the last obstacle, right? This is very clearly like the last thing. Huh. The fact that there were enemies behind it. Ah, the rocks. Oh, that one's not. I'm gonna like pop flares just to make sure I'm not getting crept up on. Holy Jesus. Oh, that's a bit harsh. Wait, why? What the? Why would you? That doesn't even make sense. Holy crap. I actually pressed dodge that. Why is there like a Shinto thing? It's like supposed to be some Buddhist symbology. Yeah, wait, why would the darkness be like, Alice never loved you? It's like the reason he's going to the lake is to like save Alice. It wants him to do that, right? Oh no, it doesn't. That was what it said in that manuscript page we found.
You can't win.
Was that the darkness was like basically sick of. Well, that was, this is going to be very anticlimactic when I have to do this section again. I guess it makes sense that for this section they basically give you unlimited flare gun ammo. Like if Alan's supposed to be the strongest, flare gun is your strongest weapon. Yeah, like that's a better way to trick you. Don't be like, oh, Alice never loved you.
You're losing.
That's how you can't reload and. The darkness is true weakness. 3 shots from a flare gun. Actually means at Cauldron Lake, right? That thing was like the thing at the start of Cauldron Lake. Yeah. Maybe go down the stairs and like go to the thing. Actually no, he's at like a different point of Cauldron Lake, right? He's not at the place he'd usually get to Cauldron Lake from. I assume that's the end of me playing the game, right?
Hell!
Why did he say hell? Oh, he wakes up.
Shh, baby. You were having a bad dream. It was just another nightmare.
No,
Everything's fine. You're
Alice
home.
is scared of the dark.
it wasn't a dream.
Everything's fine.
Turn the lights on. Turn the lights on!
Yeah, Alice is scared of the dark.
Shh, baby. The power's out. There's no light. Come back to bed and I'll make you forget all about your fear of the dark.
It's her
My
that has a
fear?
fear of the dark.
It's your fear. Why aren't you afraid?
You're not Alice. Turn the lights on now. Where's the clicker? What did you do with it?
Alan, honey, you're still 1 foot in a dream. You're not making any sense. Come back to bed.
Imagine if there was an option to go back to bed and then you just had to do this whole episode over again. It's a very good rendition of his house. Weirdly, his mirror isn't shadowed.
Alan, you're scaring me now. Come back to bed. Have you taken your pills? Do you want me to call Dr. Hartman?
It would be less
I read
obvious
your
you weren't.
manuscript. It's brilliant. Departure is your
weren't
best
lying
You're a
if you didn't have
genius.
weird
I'm so
darkness
proud of you.
swirling behind
Come
you.
back to bed. We'll talk more about it in the morning.
Yeah, fuck off. You can teleport to this door.
Come back to bed, Alan.
Come back to bed, Tom.
Gonna burn the word clicker into. Why does the clicker have so much power? It's the guy that we saw save us at the start.
You must find your way to the cabin. It stands in your way. It won't let you pass. It has no heart. It's filled with darkness. You must fill its heart with light.
Oh wait, oh that's why he's in a diver's suit, because that's like how he was when he died. What the fuck? Why is there two of him?
Don't mind him. He's Mr. Scott. Your friends will meet him when you're gone.
What?
Use the clicker.
I don't remember that. He's Mr. Scratch. Yoink. Barrel. Phone. It's obviously like a phone box, right? Another bird. It's like how you they created Alan Wake. I don't know why I'm creating everything here. Phone's ringing.
I followed the idea of a path.
I'm leaving you.
What?
I'm leaving you. I met someone. I'm in love with someone else.
Alice? No, what do you say? You can't.
You don't love me. How could you? You don't even love yourself. All you do is torture yourself with work you can't do anymore.
No, I love you more than anything in the world. You're my muse.
I'm not.
Who are you? What have you done with my Alice?
Alan? What are you doing? Put the light back on! What are you doing, Alan? Stop! Put the light back on!
It wasn't true. Nothing like that had ever happened.
Well, I mean, that part it had, right?
I had written myself across the ocean.
That part happened, the light turning off. Oh, is it trying to persuade him that, like, it's his fault? Like, she said, oh, I'm leaving you, and then he turned the light off, and then she drowned, like, fell into the water. That's supposed to be the implication. It would have actually been a really cool twist for this game to
You're not
have.
my Barbara.
Tom, let me go. I promise to be good. Please, untie me, you naughty boy. I will help you write your masterpiece. I will love you forever.
No, you're not Barbara Jagger. I made a terrible mistake. I should have never written you back. You came back wrong. Your heart is filled with darkness.
Put that knife away, Thomas! Put it down!
Heart is filled with darkness. I cut it out. Take you back to the depths you came from.
That's grim.
Filled with darkness.
I feel like Zane might be a not great guy.
I will
that would have been a really cool twist to this game. Would be if like it turned out no way Alan was actually imagining the whole thing. So we're meant to be on like the bottom of the lake, right?
Get away from me, you hag! Where am I? Let me go!
Alice! I'm coming!
Or if it
Your
turned out like
husband
Alice.
refused to do as he was told. All he had to do was write what I wanted him to write. Now it's too late. It's his fault. You'll stay here forever.
I say I knew opening that would start a cutscene. I wonder if I think they wrote this knowing that there would be DLC.
Now you will never get her back.
Oh yeah, which is a hole where our heart used to be.
I am much older than you. Older than your first work of art. I will find a new face to wear. Someone else to dream me free.
Why did they just let him do that? Like, why didn't you just let him walk up to her and basically kill her? Like, is the darkness stupid? Or is it a case of it didn't have a choice because he wrote it that that's what he was going to do? Also, does the power come from Cauldron Lake, or does it come from the darkness?
I could feel Alice's presence close by. I understood what I had to do now. I knew how to write the ending to Departure. There's light and there's darkness. Cause and effect. There's guilt and there's atonement. But the scales always need to balance. Everything has a price. That's where Zane had gone wrong. There's a long journey through the night back into the light.
Alice? Alice? Oh no!
So did he rewind time? So I assume what happens here is he gives himself to save her, right? From what he said was the scales had to be balanced. That was the problem. The other people who tried to do this wanted... Well, Zane wanted to rescue his wife and be alive. Which was the issue. So now rather than Alan swimming up from the depths... Wait, Alan never did swim from the depths. Or did he? We don't know actually, do we? We don't know how... I assume he must have swum up from the depths. When he escaped. So his wife must also be in the second game. Maybe in that weird American Nightmare game, you play as Mr. Scratch, whatever.
Alan?
Whatever they called him. They said, don't worry, Mr. Scratch is who your friends will see when you're gone. I don't know. Guess we'll see in the DLC. Because I assume this is the ending. That'd be a good ending. That would be a good ending, though. Like him realizing that he had to die for it to all be okay again. Although, saying that, it is kind of his wife's fault. You know, it's very, very sad, but it is kind of his wife's fault that he's dead. Well, I guess it's more Hartman's fault. Oh yeah, he did rewind time because Thingy's still alive, Stucky. That was I killed that guy in the orange vest, right? Yeah.
It's not a lake. It's an ocean.
Alan, wake up.
So yeah, he did. Yeah, he rewound time and made it, and like wrote it differently in the end, which is interesting. That's wild that the QA people are at the start of the credits for this game. I was not expecting this to be the song.
Take your protein pills and put your helmet on.
To be fair, we've got 2 pieces of DLC to play through, so it depends whether or not those are like flashback things. I actually do not remember. I actually don't know if I ever played them now that I think about it. I don't remember that ending, to be honest. I'll have seen it, but I do not remember. I guess the idea there is that What's-Her-Face is still touched by the darkness, right? Although she's carrying like a lantern. So maybe, yeah, look, Sam Lake. That was the guy that was on the TV. This song definitely will. If this song doesn't get a copyright hit, then I'll be surprised when the other ones did. The FBI guy was like stood in the back and he looked like he was evil. I suppose he did get absorbed by the darkness, right? They don't really explain much about the FBI agent. But there is, the second game you play as an FBI agent. God, playing this through has made me really excited for Alan Wake 2 now. Like crazy excited for it. Like I was quite excited for it before, but now I'm like really excited for it. I might play through Control. I wasn't certain if I wanted to play through Control, but I might play through Control. I know they're in the same universe, but they're not like linked. I think there's a piece of Control DLC though that is Alan Wake based. So I actually might get through it, play it. Set up. To be fair, when they made that DLC, they must have known they were going to make Alan Wake 2. The turnaround on it would be too short. That piece of DLC is like 2 years old, and Alan Wake's like what coming out later this year. They definitely knew. Yeah, they definitely knew they were doing that. Oh, that was a ride. Like I say, we've still got 2 pieces of DLC. I'm not going to play that weird Alan Wake game. That one was because it came out during the era of back when like every game had a XBLA spin-off. I'm pretty sure it was just a shooter. It was like a survival game. I actually have no idea how it played. I never played it. We'll definitely do DLC. I don't remember how long the DLCs are. I assume they're, you know, a section of the game. You know, I assume they're like maybe they're a bit longer than an episode. I suppose this episode was quite short. I actually don't know how long in total I spent recording this. For like an hour and a half. Oh, there it is, the signal. That's what they're called, the signal and something else. Are they called the rioters? Is the signal and the rioter? Like I say, it'll be weird playing these through knowing that there's now going to be a second game. I'm so shocked, babe, when they announced second one of these games. Like, I love Alan Wake, but I didn't think it was a big enough Remedy game for them to make a second one. I would have thought they'd be more likely about like a Control 2 or a... I actually can't remember what other games they brought out. There's like Quantum Break. I can't think of any other ones. You know what? While we're watching the rest of these cutscenes and seeing what song they're gonna play, I'm gonna look up what games Remedy Entertainment brought out between Alan Wake 1 and 2. Okay. Oh, Death Rally was just their first game when we were in that thing. Death Rally was just their first game. So they had Max Payne 2, then 7 years later, Alan Wake. Yeah, there was American Nightmare, that's what it's called. I wasn't just making the name up, it was called American Nightmare. He has a machine gun, a nail gun, and a crossbow in American Nightmare. Oh, I wonder if... No. I don't... We'll find out more about Mr. Scratch, right? I think American Nightmare is framed more as an episode of Night Springs rather than thingy, but we'll see. Yeah, they did Quantum Break in 2016. 2019, they did Control. And then the DLC for that and stuff. And then... Oh, this game was apparently remastered in 2021. Oh, I didn't realize it was remastered that recently. That's neat. I actually did not know that. Wait, apparently they've announced apparently they've announced they're gonna make a Control 2. So I was correct. They are making a Control 2. I still can't believe there's an Alan Wake 2 come in. It's so wild. Absolutely wild. I wonder if it's like written in a way I wonder if it's written as like, now that he's stuck, he's trying to find a way to escape. I also wonder if actual real life time will have passed. Like it's, 13 years in real life has passed. Or will 13 years have passed in game? I think he looks quite a bit older in the trailers. Like he looks substantially older. I'm waiting for these to finish, but I've thought about it, and there probably isn't a post-credit scene. And if there was, skipping would probably get me. Oh, I can press up and it'll make them go quicker. Sorry about that. Definitely could have been doing this. Yeah, I wonder if like the amount of time will have passed, because presumably the new game will have like new technology. It won't be like this game where it's very clearly set in the time it was made. I assume the new one will be set in the time, a thing. And I wonder if the darkness, like, is the darkness dead? Or is the darkness... Is that War by... Oh no, that's one by Postal. Yeah, I wonder. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Sudden stop written by Alan Wake, departure written by Alan Wake. Alan Wake's journey through the night will continue. Hey, I guess you guys never get to see this because I always start from the from this screen. But yeah, we've got the Signal and the Writer to do. I probably will play these through and then play Control. God, I can't believe. The thing that I don't remember is I don't think that those episodes have manuscript pages because it wouldn't make sense. In episode 2 we didn't miss any. In episode 3 I missed one near the end, I think. Episode 4 we missed one near the end. Episode 5 I don't think we missed any. And episode 6 we missed any. So I missed 2 over the course of the entire game. That's kind of annoying. And they weren't even the Nightmare ones. They weren't even the ones that you wouldn't get to read. I always thought they never made Alan Wake 2 because they didn't make enough money. But I wonder if Control just made enough money, with it being their first really good game in a while, that they were able to make it. I remember seeing something where they said they wanted to make it more survival horror. I presume. Oh, I wonder if actually the success of all the Resident Evil remakes had anything to do with this game getting a sequel. But yeah, I think they said something about how they wanted to make it more survival horror-y. Because this one, like I said earlier, is kind of an action game, but sometimes spooky things happen, but they're not really scary. You don't like really jump at them because of the way that it's shown. But yeah, I would hope that they got the dude that looked like Alan back for his like facial stuff, and for those like hopefully they've still got all the Night Spring stuff as well. And I also hope they got his voice back. I assume they would. I assume you wouldn't make a game like this and not get the voice actor back. That would be jarring. And facial wise, if they are using him and not like old footage they have, I guess the game has to be set in the future, but I know for a fact it is set in the future. I've seen the trailer, the first trailer. I won't watch any more trailers. That's how it works with me. Is I won't watch any new trailers. Yeah, sorry. I don't watch any trailers for games that I know I'm gonna buy, and I know Alan Wake is a buy for me, even if it ends up being dog. Like, even if it would be terrible. I would thingy. But I'll play it. It's like I say, I really like this game. This game was one of the first like Call of Duty Halo-y games I ever played. For some reason, this game really spoke to me when I was younger, and it was the game that got me into liking alternative kinds of games that weren't just JRPGs. I used to play a lot of JRPGs and stuff. A lot of bad ones, a lot of good ones. Eternal Sonata. There's no way to actually play Eternal Sonata. If Eternal Sonata was available anywhere, I would consider playing that as a series, although that game's very long. Games like that were kind of the only non-thingy games I played, and this was the first game that got me into playing like weird off-the-wall games. Now I just play them on the regular as for fun, basically. But yeah, we'll do the DLC. It's obviously not the end. We'll do both bits of DLC, and you better bet your ass that when Alan Wake 2 comes out, I'll be playing and recording that. Yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully you've enjoyed it. I know I have, and I'll see you for the next one. But this, for now, is my departure. I should cut that one out of the video.